family, peace to my comrades, and it is always smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. Come on in, press that like button, subscribe, and share. We are headed to the gym this morning. Putting my phone on a device that's holding the phone for me. So y'all come on in, press that like button, subscribe, share. Let the people know that we are live. Salute to my honorable brother, Black Jericho's in the building. Let me know in the chat that you can hear me loud and clear. Just got to go up a few X's and then we at the gym. What you gonna do? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do when it come for you? Bad boys. What you gonna do? Holding those accountable who are habitual line steppers in the sport of boxing. Let the family know that we are live and well. I hope everybody's doing all right this Wednesday. Like I promised the people, we're going to try to go live every day, even if it's not on the desktop, because we're trying to go ahead and get to that monetization. And what that monetization is going to do is, because what I'm doing right now, fam, I'm building up to get to the point where I can go to the fights like we went to the fight on Saturday. I didn't need a press pass. I was still with the fighters. I didn't need a press pass. I stayed in the nicest hotel in Atlanta. It was in the same hotel as Bud Crawford. And the way I was able to do that, family, and those who know, you know I'm lying. The way I was able to do that is the truth tellers and you, my comrades, supporting the channel. You know, the funds that you all send in, only thing I spend it on is StreamYard. Other than that, I've been saving it for a big boxing event. And family, if you go to my shorts on my page, that clip that has 1,000 views, that's because of you. That clip of me catching the energy of the people inside the State Farm Arena live, and the reaction of our people, that clip that I caught live in the arena, was so that all of the truth tellers and all of my comrades who follow the channel could experience it, even if you weren't there. So the more we get, the more people we get following us, the more monetization that we get. I can take those trips to New York and be in the nicest hotels and go to the press conferences and all of that good stuff that we deserve to have without me having to compromise myself. Something that just isn't up for option. Something that just isn't going to happen if you all are tracking what I'm saying. So family, I'm pulling into the gym now, and I want to talk to you all about Tyson Fury. I want to talk to you all about Tyson Fury stepping foot on U.S. soil to box again in America. I heard a brother I was listening to our man great this morning. And they are apologizers for foreigners that come to America and cheat our fighters and get away with it. And this is happening on our watch. And it's always these spineless, milquetoast Negroes who are on the front line of defending it. Two Del Riv in the building. That's who it is. It's these milquetoast Negroes. Man, I still like the guy. You know, I still like that Ryan. It's because you're weak. Excuse me, family. Here, spitting. You still like Ryan because you're weak. You still like Ryan because you have no cultural pride. That's why you still like Ryan. That's why you still like him. You don't have up on any type of truth. So guess what? You all have opened up the door. These type of people I'm talking about, men and women, because of race fans. See, we've always had race fans. We've had race fans around since Jack Johnson. We've always had them. And what they haven't been able to do, family, I'm sorry, I got the music on. I got the music too loud. Let me park real quick, fam. Let me park real quick. I had to grab some breakfast. Y'all will be proud of me, y'all. Y'all proud of me. I'm trying to get my body back into what I call combat shape. So I had already ordered my lunch. Let me see if I can put it up here. I had already ordered my lunch for later. My brother Dale in the building. Let these windows down a little bit, save some gas. Let me show y'all what I got. Now this morning I'm having some bagels, but I got one of these healthy bowls. I got one of these healthy bowls, so when I get done training today, as soon as I get done, I'm gonna eat and eat something healthy. So y'all will be proud of me. But let me talk about this Eddie Hearn. And I'm sorry if I have to eat a little bit of breakfast before I go in. So you mean to tell me that nobody thinks it's that there are no sanctioning bodies, there are no commissions, there's nobody reporting on the New York Post, there's nobody reporting in the Times, there's nobody reporting anywhere. Mainstream, ESPN, nobody's talking about the fact that a boxer who was accused of cheating, whether you believe it or not, a boxer who was accused of cheating in a heavyweight championship world match, who is friends with a criminal syndicate. Now, the criminal syndicate that he's tied to is on the FBI watch list. Not only that, one of his friends cannot come back here at all. And those of you who know who I'm talking about. None of these people in the sport or outside of the sport are saying he shouldn't be allowed to fight in Madison Square Garden. Salute now to 86. Now, there are some people saying, oh, but coach, they haven't made an official announcement. Watch what I'm about to tell y'all. Do you all know why the official announcement has not been made yet of Tyson Fury fighting in America? I'm going to take my time with this one. Family. Do you all know why the official announcement... Well, they trying to get me fat, ain't they? Damn, she put... So y'all gonna put all this stuff in here. Y'all gonna give me no spread? To do better. See, Chick-fil-A would never do this. The only reason why they have not made an official announcement, is Eddie Hearn is stating that the original contract that they made for AJ and Fury to fight is supposed to be in England. So a few hours ago, Eddie Hearn did an interview, and this is what Eddie said. Eddie says, we don't understand why you all are so adamant in the fight being in America. He said, we spoke to Netflix. Netflix hasn't demanded to be in America. Netflix had already prepared to film it in England. He said, Turkey Al-Sheikh doesn't want it. He's not the one trying to have it in America. For whatever reason, you all wanted to be in America. Now we have to ask ourselves, why is that? Why is that? Let me ask y'all a question, chat. And those who watch this later, where is Tyson Fury from? Yeah, we're gonna use some common sense when we talk this boxing talk this morning. Where is Tyson Fury from? We gotta make this make sense. I'm sorry, I gotta eat. I gotta eat before I go in this gym. But let's think about this for a second. If I'm from Georgia, right? Let's take Brian Norman Jr., right? If Brian Norman Jr. and another top fighter are both from Georgia, right? Salute, Steel City Luke in the building. Let's put 2 and 2 together. You know, they used to give us those problems in elementary school when we were trying to learn critical thinking. You know, if little Timmy left at such and such, so we're gonna do one of those little problem solving things for the sport of boxing real quick. If 2 top fighters are from Atlanta, Georgia, and they have a super fight, what would be the reason for one of those fighters from that city to want it in another venue? Now, if anybody can give me a good answer for this, you got me. If anybody in the chat can give me a legit good answer to this, you got me beat today. I really want you all to think about what I'm asking you. If 2 top fighters from New York City had a chance to have a fight in Madison Square Garden, but one fighter says, I'd rather have the fight in Atlanta, what would be his reason for that? Salute, PJ's Big Dog in the building. Come on, family. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. I'll give you one even better. If 2 top fighters from the U.S. had a super fight, what would be their reason to want to have it in another country? Let's go even deeper, because I want you all to think this morning. If a fighter who was accused of cheating has a super fight offered to them that they already signed, right? They already signed to have this fight in England, but they were accused of cheating, being a cheat in America. What would be the incentive for that fighter to cause an issue to have the fight back in America? The only thing that makes sense to me, family, is the only reason why Fury would be adamant in having the fight back in America is so that he could do whatever he did to Wilder, have the chance to do it to AJ. Y'all see, I know y'all ain't gonna like me for this, but don't get mad at me. Eddie Hearn just did an interview and he's saying the same thing. Eddie Hearn is saying, well, I don't understand what the problem is of us fighting in England. He's saying, why do you want Eddie talking? Because see, y'all love, you see, when a brother says it, you all love to say, you know, we're in our feelings, we're being emotional, right? We have a bunch of subjective BS that we're making up. No, we're going to talk about some objective facts today. We're going to give objective opinions in this live about boxing. Here's an objective answer. The question is, was Tyson Fury accused of cheating in America? Talk to me, chat. Was Tyson Fury accused of a Glovegate scandal in America? I don't want to hear what you think about whether he cheated or not. I want to know, is it a fact, yes or no, that there was an issue surrounding the gloves of Fury in America? Not only that, excuse me, family, you gotta eat some breakfast. Not only that, out of the 3 fights between Fury and Wilder, the first 2 were controversial. The first one, we're dealing with the long count. The second one, we're dealing with the Glovegate. The third fight, we know Wilder ain't the same fighter he was in the first fight because of the damage he took in the second fight. That's objective reasoning. Let's go even further. How come after Fury caused all that damage to Wilder, when Fury hit a cruiserweight that came up to heavyweight, flush, it caused no damage? But when he was hitting Wilder in the second fight, blood's leaking out the nose, the ears, the eyes of Wilder. Is that not strange to you? Now, since then, and since Fury has fought outside of America, he has not caused that same damage. Now, let me go back and ask you all the original question. What is the incentive, I'm going to ask you all again, for Tyson Fury to come to America to fight AJ in Madison Square Garden? Could it be that maybe some of those friends that everybody is ignoring that Tyson Fury is cool with has some ties in crooked ass New York City? Because we know he ain't got no pool down here in the South. We know who runs the West Coast. So why Madison Square Garden? Now, some are going to say, for historical context, many of the greats fought in Madison Square Garden, right? Now, watch how I disabuse you of your cognitive dissonance and your refusal to stand up on the truth. Name 2 heavyweight British fighters in the last 100 years who decided for their super fight they would go to America instead of fighting in England. And I'll wait. Use ChatGPT. Use Google. Phone a friend. I'll wait. Let me ask the question again, chat. Name 2 top British fighters who are the faces of their country. When it's time for them to meet up, they decide, let's not make the fight happen in England. Let's do it in America. Even though, let's do it in America. Del Real says Fury would cheat AJ. Not only that, he probably wouldn't want the UK to look at AJ, a black man, as king of the UK. So Fury would win by any means. Man, salute Stormy B, man. Stormy B, man, the sensei says, man, you cooking a meal so fulfilling, they ain't got an appetite for this burn. Now, family, if the sensei says I'm cooking, I know I'm on the right track. Now let's think about this, family. Let's if Lil went to market, let's put it all together now. All right. If Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford, oh, like this one. Let me give 2 top American boxers. The venue has to make sense. If Ali decides to go fight in Africa, there's a reason behind it. If Floyd Mayweather decides to fight a weekend in Las Vegas, there's a reason behind it. Now, I need an answer. I need you all to tell me why 2 fighters who are both from England, and one of the fighters would say, now that this super fight is finally going to happen, let's do it in America, where I have been accused of cheating before and where I really wasn't allowed to step foot on soil for a while. Not only that, Bob Arum, Mauricio Suleiman, who have been asked questions about a certain boss, a certain head of a criminal syndicate, all of them silent. Nobody in the boxing mainstream world is saying it should be an outrage for you all trying to allow this man to step foot on American soil again. Max Kellerman ain't saying nothing. See, now this is what I'm gonna get y'all. All these dudes y'all love to praise ain't gonna say nothing about it. Ain't none of them gonna bring up this point. Max Kellerman ain't about to do it. Sean Till ain't about to do it. Sean Porter ain't about to do it. Tarver ain't about to do it. All these podcasts, they're not about to do it. And we have to ask the question, why? This is why last week, when you all were screaming, rest in peace, Pritchard Colin and Terrell Williams go to jail, I called you hypocrites and liars. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what 2 top heavyweights said, you know what? Let's not do it in front of our people. Let's go to America. Talk to me. Now, for me to put this, for me to eat my breakfast while I'm talking about this, you all know this is truly on my mind. So Black Jericho says Klitschko. So what top British fighter did Klitschko want to fight in America instead of doing it in front of his own people? Because I might learn something. I might learn something right now. My brother Black Jericho says Klitschko. What other face of British boxing did Klitschko fight in America? And he had a chance, he had a chance to do it in England. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. We're talking about the two faces of their country. The two faces of their country. And one is deciding, let me do it in America. Let me go back to America. Let me, instead of putting this on in front of my own people, let's do it in America. Now, my brother Black Jericho says Klitschko. I don't know any other top British heavyweight. There isn't one, y'all. There isn't one. There has never been a time two top British heavyweights who are the face of said, let's do it in. This is like Lennox Lewis and Klitschko having a chance to have a super fight, and one saying, I am adamant in being in America or there's no fight. This is what Fury is saying right now, y'all. Eddie Hearn just said this morning that if we cannot fight, Eddie Hearn is saying that even though they had already agreed originally to fight in England, if they refuse to, you understand? If they I got you, Black Jericho. If they refuse to, the fight isn't going to happen. Now, what would Tyson Fury's reasoning be for that? This is what happens when you all defend Ryan Garcia. This is what happens when you all defend drug chiefs. This is what happens when you all say, well, even Shadeja Green has a bleed. Nobody should check Lonnie Daniels' gloves. Even though she went to a coma right there in the stadium, nobody checked Lonnie Daniels' gloves. Nobody. And Lonnie Daniels struggled with Clarissa Shields, somebody who came up in weight. But you all had no smoke for it. You only got smoke for Bill Haynes. See, this is what happens when after Clarissa Shields put on a great, entertaining event, nobody goes over there and checks these guys for bringing on Hannah Gabriels to try to throw smut and dirt on a champion's name. But you love it. You love the drama. The boxing fan base is split. And it is split between the Bad Girls Club fans, the bad fans in the sport of boxing, amongst the men, and the men who want the lineage of our sport to shine in present day. Let's go deeper into this. Mauricio Sulaiman tells Usyk, hey man, we wish you luck on your endeavors, even though you dropped the belt. Right when there's rumors of talks of Usyk fighting Wilder. Okay, that's one thing. Hold on, fam. These damn dragonflies out here. Now, let's think about this. So Usyk drops the belt right before there's rumors of him fighting Wilder. All right, that's one. Y'all hold on to that. I'm gonna give you another one. Now, Eddie Hearn reports today that what's holding up the fight announcement is Tyson Fury's let me turn this thing. Let's hide it. Tyson Fury's unwillingness to want to make the fight happen in England, and none of us understand why. Eddie's making it plain. He's saying none of us understand why he's being like this. We already had to deal with Netflix set in stone. You understand? And that's right, Sensei. He didn't call Usyk a coward, did he? Right? Nobody calls Usyk a coward. Nobody calls Tyson Fury a cheater. I guess that is preserved for certain people in the sport of boxing. So Usyk drops the belt. Fury maintains that the fight with AJ has to be in America. Why? Why, Tyson? And watch. There are brothers in the sport of boxing on Clarissa Shields every day. And this is the shit that you all talking about. Come on, y'all. Salute Lone Star Steph in the building. Come on, y'all. This is happening on our watch. Now, this is what they're telling us. Subconsciously or consciously, whether y'all pick this up, they are letting it be known it's open season on top black American fighters. If you cheat against them and you don't get caught red-handed, we'll cover you. Not only will we cover you, when you want to come back, we got you covered. When you want to come back, we got you covered. Excuse me. So people are going to defend Keyshawn Duncan. People are going to defend Shakur saying, I don't have to keep my word to nobody, but we're going to give Tyson Fury a pass. Wait till I text Drew. Drew might already know. But they're going to let this man step foot back in the U.S. And probably, see, Eddie not saying what he really want to say because the deal's still on the table. But if you all listen to Eddie's words, this is what Eddie is saying. Eddie is saying, you know what? You bastards got me last time. You bastards got me last time when AJ got in there with what's the heavyweight Mexican name? Andy. What's his name? Y'all help me out, family. Help me out, family. Help me out, family. What's the Mexican heavyweight name that beat AJ? And AJ had said he wasn't feeling right before the fight. What's his name? Come on, family. Talk to me now. Where my wrenches at? There it is. Salute. One Eastside Easy Money in the building. Ruiz. Now, Andy Ruiz, that's it. When he fought Andy Ruiz, and before the fight, he said he didn't feel right. Eddie Hearn is taking that into account. He said, See, y'all got me last time. Hold on, fam. Yeah, she thinks she is. If I see, I'm gonna tell y'all something, fam. If I see a person wearing Oakleys and they not law enforcement, I don't trust them. But look, but look. Think about this, fam. Eddie Hearn is saying, if you can read between the lines, this is what Eddie Hearn is saying. Eddie is saying, I know y'all trying to cheat. I know y'all are trying to get us in New York because if Fury can't have no cocaine in the system, if Fury can't have them gloves loaded, AJ gonna get him. AJ gonna get him. Now, Vito Corleone says America has the worst boxing sports fans on earth. That's why. Now, let me say this. I think that we have the worst boxing fans. I'm not going to say the worst sports fans, because I would have to say that the Argentina fans are some of the worst pieces of shit on the planet when it comes to sportsmanship. It's not a fact, because American sports fans can go over to the Olympic Games and act like they got some sense. The Argentina soccer fans during the World Cup was getting their asses beat all over this country because they don't know how to act. But that's a debate for another time. That's a debate for another time. The fact is, we have some of the most bigoted, hypocritical fans in boxing on the planet. Now, England used to be pretty bad as well. If you all know the stories of Marvin Hagler, them trying to unalive Marvin Hagler after he came over there and beat their champ in the late 80s. And they rioted. There's a long history of riots and racial tension between England boxing fans and American boxing fans when it comes to who's the worst. But I can tell y'all now, because this channel is about the Black American atmosphere, our boxing fans, and the truth. And here's the truth. The truth is, no American fighter could go to another country, be accused of cheating. Being accused of cheating. Vito Corleone says, you realize that British fans are literally the best in the world. Even Crawford said it. Vito Corleone, let me, because you might be new here, so let me explain something to you. When you come in as a guest and you come in the middle of the conversation, hear what's going on first before you try to cause a deflection in what I'm talking about. Ushers, moderate the chat. Now, as I was saying, the boxing fans in America know for a fact that a Wilder, a Crawford, Roy Jones, or Floyd Mayweather, if they went over to England, if they went over to Australia, if they did any of those things, chat, go ahead and escort Vito up out of here. Go ahead and escort Vito up out of here, chat. Well, I'll keep cooking once he's gone. Go ahead and escort Vito up out of here. Vito, we'll see you next time. The sensei taught me, Stormy B-Man taught me, that we need to have zero space for anybody that doesn't respect the conversation. Now, based off the name Vito Corleone, I know that you're not a Black American. So just like me, if I went into a Cuban, Black Cuban, Latino household and I was learning about their culture, I would shut up and listen first. If I went into a Ukrainian's household and they were talking about their culture and their atmosphere, I would shut the hell up and be respectful first. But see, there's something, and some of you handkerchief head Negroes are the reason why this goes on. You feel that you can come into my chat after I ask you respectfully, hear what I'm talking about first before you keep blowing up my chat. You still refuse to. So because of that, you weren't removed because of difference of opinion. You were removed because you're disrespectful. As I was saying, no American fighter could go to another country and there be a conspiracy over a glove gate, over a drug, performance enhancement drug, and be tied to a syndicate and be allowed back into their country. It wouldn't happen. It would not happen. So we need to ask ourselves, what is going on? What is going on? And why is this being allowed? And if it happens, what do we need to do as boxing supporters? What message do we need to get out there? Because if you all didn't learn anything else after last weekend, if we wanted to do every fight with us in Atlanta, in Detroit, in the DMV, our people will come out and sell it out every time. Every time. And you wouldn't have to kowtow and be weak, compromising people. You wouldn't have to do that. But see, the disrespect that we witness on a regular basis, like from Vito Corleone, who wouldn't shut his mouth long enough to get a mutual understanding. You see, this is the atmosphere that our future children are going to have to deal with, because we got spineless, self-hating, handkerchief-head Negroes and apology and grace to this type of behavior. They don't have to respect our household. They don't have to respect our conversations, because what they feel in that moment is superior to whatever we got to say. And that's happening on our watch. Yeah. That's happening on our watch. But let me tell you something. You don't have no space here. You don't get no space here. God damn it, you will be respectful when we're having a conversation. And then when you want to have your difference of opinion, I'm not somebody that wants an echo chamber. I'm not somebody that has a need to everybody to agree with me. I had Max 7 on over the weekend. I had Max 7. Javante Tank Davis, #1 fan. And we disagreed on some things, but we came to a mutual understanding about some things for the betterment of the sport of boxing. And that is what you have to understand. This is the wrong place for you to be. So maybe the next time a guest comes in and we're having a conversation, you'll understand how to move. Salute St. Louis. Watch this situation, because y'all are about to okey-doke again. They're already planning it. They're already planning it. And don't be surprised if they're planning for Wilder to be cheated again. I thank you all for listening. Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke for you disrespectful race fans and you double-minded, double-tongued, COINTELPRO, handkerchief head apologists for racist Negroes. Peace. Disrespectful. You think you are.